Okay, so for today's lesson, we're going to learn about how to read the notes on on the music score. Okay, and this music score is what you see on the left side of the screen, and we're going to relate this to the notes that we've already learned on the first, second, and third strings. All right, so now let's just look at the guitar and just kind of recap. On the third string, we have two notes. Right, so the third string, the G and the A note. Okay, you can play on the guitar as well, just play along with me to recap. On the second string, we have the B, C, and D notes. Right, so we got B, second string, C, and the third note, the D. And the last one, okay, the first string, we have four notes: the E note, the F note, the G note, and the high A note. Okay, so let's look at the score on the left hand side now. Okay, so there are a total of how many notes on the score here? Let's count. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, there are 9 notes on the score, and also we've already learned 9 notes. So each of these notes on the score represent one of the notes that we've already learned. Okay, and we just have to kind of remember where they are on the score. So let's explain a little bit more about the music score. Okay, if you look at the bottom screen over there, okay, you can see some definitions to some of the stuff that you see on the score. Okay, the first thing you see there is the time signature. So the time signature basically tells you how you're going to count for each measure on the score. Okay, so each measure in this case, okay, the time signature says 4 and 4. We're just going to be concerned with the number at the top. So the top 4 means that each measure will last 4 beats. So if I play the score over here now, okay, I'm just going to count in the first note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each measure is 4 beats. 3, 4. Okay, and you can tell that by looking at the time signature. Okay, and okay, let's just stop this. Okay, each measure is separated by a bar line. So if you look at the score over there, okay, there is a bar line in between each measure, and there is also bar numbers to let you know which bar in the song you're playing. So for example, someone might say, let's play the song from bar number 4, in which case we will kind of just play the music instead of playing from the start. Over here, we'll go to bar number 4 and we'll play. So bar number 4, bar number 5, bar number 6, and so on. Right? So on the score, you also have the treble clef. Okay, so the treble clef is the clef that we will use when we're playing guitar. Okay, there are other kinds of clefs. There's the bass clef, there's the tenor clef, and the alto clef. You might have seen it before, but we don't have to be concerned about that right now. We're just going to focus on the treble clef. So just make sure that when you see a score and you want to play it out on guitar, just make sure the clef is the treble clef, okay, the G looking clef. And okay, next, let's go on to the types of notes that we can find on the score. So there are two kinds of notes. There is the line notes, and there is the space notes. Okay, so quite straightforward. Line notes are notes that appear on the lines, and space notes are notes that appear in the spaces. So let's look at the line notes. There are how many lines on the stuff? There are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So the first line, okay, that note, the name of that note is E. Okay, and then the next one is G, and then B, and then D, and then F. Okay, and the notes on the spaces, there are a total of four spaces. Okay, and the first note is F, followed by A, followed by C, and followed by E. Okay, but we're only going to use some of the notes because we've only learned a total of 9 notes on the guitar. Okay, so now let's look at the notes. Okay, and if you find the video is too fast, just scroll back and watch through that section a little bit more. Yeah, you can watch it as many times as you want. Okay, but try to make sure you understand the concept before you move on to doing the practice. Okay, so now let's look at the score on the left hand side. Okay, so on the left hand side, the first note that we have here, what kind of note is this? This is a line note. Okay, and it's on the second line. So if we look at the reference at the bottom there, the second line, that note is a G note. Okay, and which G note is it on the guitar? It is the third string G note. So this G note over here, third string 0, so if you remember, that's the G note. Okay, and when you see this line note on the score, okay, you're gonna have to play this G note on the guitar. Alright, so try to remember that. The next note we have is the space note, okay, and it's on the second space. And let's look at the reference. Okay, the second space, what note is that? That is the A note. Right, and which A is it? It is the A on the third string, second fret. Okay, so let me just label this. So I'm just going to put third over there, which means third string. So on the third string we have two notes. We have G and we have A. Alright. Okay, let me move the score down this way. Okay. So now let's move on to the next one. So in third measure, the third measure, we have the note, which line note is it? It is the third line note, and that note is the B note if you look at the reference. Okay, so this B note, what is the B note? When you learn on the guitar, the B note is on the second string, right? So the B note is this note over here, second string. Okay, and we're going to move on to the next one. So the next one is a space note. So okay, just look at which space it is. It's the third space, and the third space note is the C note. So that's the C note over here. Okay, and let's move on to this next note. So this next note is a line note, and it's on the fourth line. So let's look at the reference again. The fourth line, what note is it? It is the D note. So on the guitar, it is the second string, third fret. Okay, so just play along, play the notes as we go along. Alright, and let's move on to the next one. The next one is on the first string now. First string. Okay, and it is the first string E note because it's on the last space, right? So that's E. And right after E, we have the next note, which is the F note. So it's on the last line. Okay. And the next two notes are the G note. So just remember that the G note is after the four spaces, so it's outside of the stuff. Right? So that's the G note. And if we move on to the next one, that last note, the last bar, bar number 9. Okay, we get the high A note. Okay, so I'm going to go from the start. Okay, and try to play along if you can. So once I start the track, there will be 4 counts, and then we'll start to play together. So the first note is the G. The next note is A. And then the next note is B. And the next note is C. And the next note is D. Next note is E. Next note is F. Next note is G. And the last note is the high A. Alright. So spend some time memorizing the positions of the circles and the names of the notes. Alright, so maybe try to practice it on your own for 3 or 4 times. Okay, let's just do this practice one more time, but this time I'm going to slow down the tempo to 40 beats per minute, a little bit slower, and let's just try one more time together just so that you get some practice in this case. So it's going to be counting in 4 counts, and then we're going to start together from the 3rd string G note. 2, 3, and 4, and G. 2, 3, and the next one is A. So as you're doing this, make sure you play with your fingers here, B. Okay, and then we go to C, walk your fingers. And then D is on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. Okay, make sure the sound is correct. Next is A first, E first string. Next is F. And the last one, second last one is G. So it's every 4 counts. Try to keep up. And the last one is A, high A. Good. Good. Okay, so rewind this video, and just practice by yourself. It may take about 10 to 15 minutes to get used to the names of the notes. So focus and spend that 15 minutes and just try to memorize the notes. And once you're done, we'll move on to the next section where we're going to try to play a song using these notes on the score. So let me just switch over now to the song. Okay, so this is the song that we're going to play today. Okay, but let's just look through the notes. Okay, so just look at the left hand side and just follow the arrow. And we're just going to try to name the notes together first. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll the arrow one note at a time, and then you try to figure out the name of the note, and let me know what the name is. So let's start with the first note over there. So what is the name of that note? That is the C note. Okay, so the C note is on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Okay? And next note, what is that note? That is the line note. It's one of the line notes. Which line is it on? You just check the reference at the bottom. Okay, it is the 4th line. So that is the D note. So the D note is on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Okay, let's move on to this note. What is this note? Check your reference. It is the E note. And if we go on, that's the C note. Next note, what is it? It is a space note. And which space note is it? It's on third space. It is a C note. Okay, so what I want you to do is for the entire song, just go through the entire song and write down the notes on top of okay, where the arrow is right now. See the arrow that is moving, the top arrow. Where the top arrow is, just write down the name of the note. So in this case, if this note, what is the name of this note? This is the G note, right? So the high G over there. So write down high G over there. And then this next note, what is that note? Okay, use the reference video at the back just now and just write down all the notes. Okay, all the way to the end. Alright, so that will be your homework for this lesson. Okay, write down the names of all these notes from the start all the way to the end. Alright, and once you've written down the notes, the next part is to try to play the song. Okay, so I'm just going to play through the song once now. Okay, and then as I play, I want you to just look at my fingers on the guitar, and as you practice later, just make sure that you are getting the same sound, okay, and getting the same song that I'm getting. I'm just going to start the song. Okay, and for practice, you can play along with the track as well. 4 counts. Okay. So what was that song? If you know the song, okay, just write down the name of the song as well and submit it as part of your homework. So 2 things you're supposed to do for homework: write down the names of the notes, and after you've written down the names of the notes, practice the song. And once you've practiced, record a video of yourself playing the song. If you can play with the video track, just play along with the track. But if you can't, you can just record the video of yourself playing at your own tempo. Okay, at your own speed. You don't have to play fast. You just play slowly. All right.